Good afternoon, Drive Radio fans. Here we are on a beautiful Colorado afternoon, fresh after a spring rainstorm, which we don't get too often around here, but we've had more of lately. But today we are reviewing the 2014 Mitsubishi Outlander GT, which is their higher trim level package. It comes with a V6 engine, and it also comes with a third row of seats. As you're walking around with my dad, John, he's going to kind of show you a little bit of the body lines of the car, but I will say drivability of this car is great. It's excellent. It feels smooth when you drive it. The V6 gives it plenty of power. You may be looking for more power, but then again, out of an SUV, it's really kind of dependent on what your dislikes and likes are in a car. If power is what you're going for in a SUV, you may not want this car. However, this car does average 23 to 24 miles per gallon. I believe we've had it for several days now, and we haven't even quite gone through a quarter of a tank. And Dad, you can attest, I drive probably more than anyone. So
car gets good mileage. I drove it to South Denver and back. It works well. You know, the biggest plus this car has, and you know, part of why we like Mitsubishi, and we've not driven a lot of Mitsubishis up until just the last several months. You know, one thing that I have been impressed with is get a lot of car for the money. So you really do. It's a really great buy. What's this car run, Richard?
This car, fully stocked, decked out, which comes with a navigation system. Like I said, the top of the line trim package is $30,000. We were commenting on, you know, yeah, you're going to be losing a little bit of power and maybe of some nicer features on the inside, but the car that you get, which we'll show you in a second, it really is great. I mean, for the money and for what you're buying, you actually talked on the radio recently about what you can buy for $30,000 these days, and this car is probably the best buy for your money, dollar for dollar.
It really is. All right, tell you what, we're going to go for a quick test drive. When we come back, we'll do the interior review and wrap things up, but stay with us. We're going to go right to our driving portion of the review. All right, fans, hope you enjoyed our intro there. We're going to take a quick drive, come back and finish out the review, but you know, and we just washed this car to do the review in, and as you can see, Richard said earlier, it's been raining here in Colorado. We've had some really funky weather here. To Richard's point, you know, in Colorado, we can kind of get it all over the map, and this last week we've had it all over the map. We've had warm weather, we've had cool weather, we've had rain, we've had hail, literally a little bit of everything. But back to the review. Again, this is a nice car. One complaint I have on this car, and again, I have to make sure that I position myself correctly, and that even myself, I remind myself that this is a $30,000 car. Drivability is great. Power's a little down, but not bad. It still works fine. The front seats, though, one drawback that I found is there's no lumbar support for your back, which I have a bad back, and that's one of the first things I noticed. It doesn't make it totally uncomfortable to drive. I was in it for over an hour yesterday, and it's not totally uncomfortable, but I wish Mitsubishi, if you're listening, add some lumbar, you know, tack on $100 or so to it, whatever you need to do to get some lumbar support. I think that would make a huge difference in this particular vehicle. But other than that, Richard, what do you think as far as driving it? You've actually driven it more than me. What do you think?
I really enjoy this car. Like you said, the power's a little bit down, but once again, for what you're buying this car for, it's not a major knock on it. It's just, you know, a little bit of a minus. As far as the lumbar support, I mean, I think it's me having a stronger back than you, but I don't notice it quite as much. Definitely is not something that I would, I guess, pick this car over another or pick another car over this car for. However, if that's a feature you want.
Some may, so that's something you need to realize. So yeah, and as always, we recommend, you know, don't just take our word for it. Go out, drive these cars. One thing we talk about on the radio show a lot, and to Richard's point, you know, we don't mention this enough, we're on air every Saturday, 10 to 1, AM 560, KLZ The Source. So 560thesource.com is the website. You can listen to us online and stream us. Go to drive-radio.com, listen to our podcasts. You know, but one thing I was going to say real quick, that, you know, we get questions a lot on just different vehicles. You know, what should you buy, not buy? One thing we recommend is get behind the wheel. Don't take our word for it. Don't take somebody else's review for it. Don't take the manufacturer's review for it. Every vehicle is a little different, has different idiosyncrasies to it, so you need to go out, drive the vehicle, see what you like, don't take anyone's word for it. You are going to be the one driving that car for the next 2, 3, 5, even 10 years. The average age of a vehicle today is 11 years on the US roads. Don't take anyone's word for it. Go drive it yourself, see if you like it, spend some time behind the wheel, And if you can't do that, we can arrange that for you. We've got a broker that we work with, Isaac Bouchard. He'd be more than willing to make sure you can get behind the wheel and drive the car. Now, if you're outside of our area, again, find somebody you can work with that can get you behind the wheel, spend some time driving it, really see if it's a vehicle that fits you, fits your needs, fits the needs of your family before you make that decision. So along with that, let's go back and we'll finish up the rest of the review. But Richard, anything else you want to add?
No, great car, great drivability. But yeah, I would encourage everyone, get out there and drive it, see what you like. A car that you like may not be the car that someone else is like, and that's okay.
That's exactly right. All right, we'll be right back. All right, now we're back in. Well, we didn't go anywhere. We just moved around the car. I'm back over on the passenger seat, and kind of make it sound like we're jumping all around there. And if we do, sorry guys. You know, again, we're not professional videographers. I want to make sure everybody understands that. You know, we're just a couple of rookies that love cars, that review them. I've got a radio show, and you know, we do the best we can to get you as much information as possible. You know, we don't have a budget to afford to hire a videographer, so we do all this stuff ourselves. So my son Richard and I do the best we can. So, you know, some of you out there, some of you critics out there probably don't like exactly the way we do everything, but you know what? The reality is, it is what it is. We're doing the best we can. We enjoy it. And we're trying to give you the real world view of all of this. No, we're not car and driver. We never claim to be. We don't have that professionalism. You know, we don't do this for a living. This is all volunteer time on what we do, and we enjoy doing it. But let's show a little bit about how basically I should say, not just the nav system, but their entire, anymore, it's not just the nav, it's audio, it's everything incorporated into one head of the stereo system itself.
Well, it is, and Mitsubishi actually has a great system, very simple to use. You have your audio on this hand side and the map on this side, so push button controls. You also have a touch screen. One thing about this car is it doesn't have a Bluetooth button. You actually have to use the hands-free, which is it's just a different way you use
your voice command it, right?
Exactly, you voice command everything. This car does have some different modes. This is an all-wheel drive car, and it has Mitsubishi Super All-Wheel Control, they call it, which is just their version of an all-wheel drive. Very it's supposed to be very easy to drive, maneuver in the all-wheel drive setting. But honestly, the interior of this car does, for $30,000, comes with a lot of bells and whistles. It comes with lane departure warning, front collision warning, which means if it senses a car stopping in front of you, it'll beep at you, tell you to slow down. And it also has adaptive cruise control, which for a car that's $30,000, you're going to be very hard pressed to find that on any other car in this segment.
In fact, just so you guys all know, most of the cars that have adaptive cruise, they're tacking on another anywhere from $750 to $1,200 depending upon the car. So yeah, to Richard's point, to include all of that in a car that has a sticker price of around $30,000. Now we also know how the marketplace is, and you're liable to buy this car for a little bit less than that. So that's a really good deal. So I tell you what, let's just finish up the review. We're about done. Is there anything else you want to show folks, Richard, that this has got? You know, the one thing I noticed that it doesn't have, and again, not knocking it, there's no rear. So the HVAC is dual, so you got front and rear. But unlike the Highlander, which we reviewed the other day, there's no rear AC control unit for it, which, again, though, you got to look at the price. You know, we're talking $30,000 versus $45,000. $15,000 is a lot of money. I'm not knocking Toyota. The Highlander is a great car, great buy even in that segment, but man, $15,000 is a lot of difference in price. And some of you, real quick, I also want to mention this. I've had people ask on the radio show, how does Mitsubishi hold up? You know, are they going to be around for a while? Are they a brand that's going to go away anytime soon? And the answer is, I don't think so. I think they're a good brand. They're going to be around for a while. They're one of the largest companies in Japan, and they own a lot of different things. No, they're not going anywhere. In fact, they have said they're going to take on a larger presence here in the U.S. So, you know, would it bother me personally to buy a Mitsubishi? The answer to that is no, it would not. So, with that said, hope you guys all enjoyed the reviews. Richard just went over real quick, clicked over to even a calendar view inside of the nav system, which is really cool. But we hope you enjoy the review. Keep watching. I'm your host, John Rush, along with
Richard Rush. Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Check us out every Saturday morning from 10 until 1 on 560 KLZ here in Colorado. If you're not in Colorado, that's okay. Go to 560thesource.com or go to your TuneIn Radio app on your iPhone or smartphone device and tune in every Saturday. Thanks for watching.